Good morning. Now we are discussing about the automobile engineering unit 1 vehicle structure and engines. The automobiles stand for a vehicle which can be moved by itself. An automobile is a self-propelled vehicle. It is used for the transportation of passengers and goods from one place to the other on the ground. A vehicle producing power within itself for its propulsion is known as the self-propelled vehicle. For example, scooters, mobiles, car, lorry, bus, jeep, tractors, ship, aeroplanes, helicopters, rockets, etc. Modern vehicles are produced by using complex components of machineries and therefore it requires careful attention for making it to perform on a safe, economical and efficient way. It is made up of a frame supported by the body and power producing units and power transmitting units. These units are further supported by tires and wheels are connected by spring and axles. In general, the power is produced by internal combustion engines. This power in turn is transmitted to the rear wheels through various transmission systems such as clutch, propeller shaft, gears, differential units, etc. Then type of automobiles. Type of automobiles with respect to is classified to different purpose, which as follows. With respect to the purpose, passenger cars, example, car, bus, jeep, scooter, mopeds, and motorcycles. Good carries, example, trucks and lorries. Then weight of the vehicles with respect to weight of the vehicles. Heavyweight vehicles, lightweight vehicles, modern vehicles, weight vehicles. Heavyweight vehicles, bus, trucks, and trailers. Light vehicles, car and jeeps. Medium vehicles, minibus and station wagons. With respect to fuel, petrol vehicles, diesel vehicles, gas vehicles, electrical vehicles, solar vehicles. Petrol vehicles, scooters, car, motorcycles. The diesel vehicles, buses, trucks. Gas vehicles, coal gas, LPG, CNG vehicles. Electrical vehicles, heavy cranes, battery truck, car and forklift. Then solar vehicles. Next one, with respect to capacities, heavy transport vehicles, bus, lorries, trucks, tractors, etc. Then light transport vehicles, car, scooter, mopeds, motorcycles, jeeps. Then with respect to number of wheels, two-wheelers, scooters, mopeds, and then four-wheelers, car, jeep, buses, trucks, and then three-wheelers, auto and tempos, the six-wheelers, heavy truck. The next one with respect to side of the driver's seat, left hand drive and then right hand drive. Left hand drive American, European and UAE, then right hand drive Indian vehicles. Then next, then chases. Chases to construct any automobile, chases is the basic requirement. Chases is a French term and was initially used to denote the frame or main structure of the vehicles. It is now extensively used in complex vehicles except the body. The vehicle without body is called chassis. The main components for chassis: frame, front suspension, steering mechanism, engine, clutch, gearbox, radiator, propeller shaft, then wheels, rear and the front spring and the shock absorber, differential unit, universal joint, then brakes and the braking systems, fuel tank, silencer, electrical system, storage, battery, etc. This is the layout of the chassis. Then it shows the engine is located at the front end of the vehicles. It is connected to the gearbox through the clutch. The drive of the engine can be connected or disconnected from the gearbox by the driver with the help of clutch pedals. From the gearbox, the power is transmitted to the differential through propeller shaft and universal joint, and finally to the wheels via rear axles. Radiator is placed in front of the engines. And then classification of chassis. Classification of chassis according to fitting of the engines: full forward, semi forward, bus stages, engine at the back, engine at the center. Then full forward, for example, car, Mahindra Jeep; semi forward, Tata AC series of the vehicles; bus stages, buses and trucks; engine at the back, Leyland Bus of England; engine at the center, Royal Tiger World Master Bus of Delhi Transport, according to number of the wheels fitting in the vehicles and a number of the drive wheels. The next one, characteristics. Characteristics of good chassis: the fast pickup, strength, safety, durability, dependability, ease of control, quietness, speed, power, accessibilities, economy of operation low, and then center of gravity, stability, load clearance, braking ability, simplicity of lubrications. The chassis components. What are the components of the chassis? First one, frame, suspension system, steering system, braking system, internal combustion engine, and then gear, clutch, gearbox, propeller software, universal joint, differential, spring. Then on the main, first one is the frame. Frame is the main parts of the chassis. It's the main part of the chassis. It is backbone of the vehicles. All other parts of the chassis are mounted on the frame. It is rigid structure that forms a skeleton to hold all the major parts together. At the front end of the frame, the engine is mounted. The engine in turn is connected to the clutch and the transmission unit to form a complete power assembly. The frame is supported by the wheel and the tire assembly. Some part of the steering system is connected to the frame and the remaining to the body. The fuel tank is fastened to the rear end of the frame. What is the function of frame? To form the base for mounting engine and the transmission systems, to withstand the engine and the transmission thrust and the torque stresses, as well as accelerating and the braking torque, to accommodate the suspension systems, to carry the other parts of the vehicle and the passengers, to resist the effect of centrifugal forces when cornering a curve, withstand bending and twisting stresses due to the fluctuating or rear and the front axles. What are the requirements of good frame? It must be strong, light, and designed in such a way that that may be withstand the shock blows, twist, vibration, and other strain to which it is subject to the road conditions. Then frame constructions, that is the in order to provide the good resistance and bending and torsional effect. The frame section are made up of proper frame. There are three common type of frame sections, that is the channel and the tubular and the box. These are made from cold rolled open earth steel or heat treated alloy steels. Channel section provide a good resistance to bending, but it is poor in torsion, while tubular section provide good resistance to torsion and poor resistance to bending. These the box section are comparatively resistant to bending and torsions. The frame is narrow at the front end because the short turning radius of front wheels. It is widening out at the rear end of the provided to a bigger space for the body. The rear and the front of the frame are curved upward to accommodate the movement of the axle due to springing, and also kept the chassis height as low. It also avoid the impact due to the rear axle bouncing. It is concerned two longitudinal and side members of channel sections. The side members are praised by the number of cross member of channel and the tubular sections. In conventional design and the cross members are at right angles to side members. The modern chassis frame have cross members that cross in form of X between the side members. The bracket are provided to connect the spring and the support running boards. If necessary, more brackets are provided to support the engine, gearbox, etc. The engine, clutch, and the gearbox are bolted together to form one rigid assembly. It is mounted usually on the front end of the frame by means of rubber band withstand engine vibrations. The frame types, there are three types. One is the conventional frame construction, semi-integral frame construction, and the integral or frame constructions. Then conventional type means a non-loaded carrying frame. The load on vehicle are transferred to the suspension by this type of frame. The frame supported various parts of the vehicle such as engine, power transmission element, and carry the body. The total frame is mounted on the wheel axle by means of springs. The next one, semi-integral. In this type of frame, the rubber band mounting are replaced by relatively stiff mountings. Integral type constructions is the frameless construction or chaseless unitary or monocoque constructions. Nowadays, using the passenger cars, this construction provides a stiff light construction, particularly suitable for mass-produced vehicles. In this type of construction, there is no separate frame. All the assembly units are attached to the body. In this design, heavy side members of the frame are eliminated and the cross members are combined with the floor of the body. The body of vehicle gives the mounting for engine, transmission, suspension, or other mechanical units and the components. This type of construction is led to much reduction of weight, which is important design and the constructions. What are the forces are used in the vehicles? Resistant to vehicles, and then resistance vehicles, air resistance, and the aerodynamic drag. This depends upon the size of the vehicle, shape of the vehicle, speed of the vehicles. Then gradient resistance, common to vehicle weight, which is parallel to the plane of the road. The rolling resistance, the tire of hard surface due to the higher stresses in the tire materials. Then acting the force, drag force, lift force, cross-wind forces. Drag forces force of air track is acting in the direction of vehicle motion, with the wind acting along the longitudinal directions. Lift force, aerodynamic lift force is vertical component of the resultant force caused by the pressure distribution of the body. Cross-wind forces, it is acting the lateral direction of the side of the vehicles. These forces acting at the center of pressure instead of center of gravity and the various cause of the moment. Thank you.